next 10 minutes for my elevator. No, I'm just joking. So, okay, 30 seconds real quick about what I do. There's some new people in the room. I'll just kind of put it out there and then get it out the way. So I'm an entrepreneur, just really a hustler by nature. I am a local representative with NASAIL Open Door, which is an international student exchange program. I'm also a enrollment coordinator with the Institute of Reading Development. I am a registered business owner, SC WebTech LLC, actually founded in South Carolina. I'm also a published author. I published a book on blogging this past summer. I just released another audio book a couple weeks ago. Actually give you guys the information from that. It's free, no opt-in required. You can go ahead and listen to it on the internet. I also put together street teams and just really make things happen as far as web development, web design, as well as social media marketing and consultation. If you guys are looking to start a business, I do that. I help people to find the right resources to be able to develop a flexible work from home business. Also help or authors kind of get some more, utilize some of the online programs such as Amazon to publish your book and get it out there. I think that was 31 seconds. Okay.
33.
See what I'm saying? So for the next few minutes, really, my man, what's your name? Armani. That's I got a cousin named Armani. So you're talking about being a public speaker. I've done several different public speaking engagements. This is my, I guess, say first one in front of an audience here in Detroit since I've moved back. And just for the next few minutes, I want to talk to you about some of the basics as far as really reaching your goals and getting the things done that you want to do. There is a 9 minutes, 10 minutes, what I got?
Yes.
Okay. So there are universal laws that are really in play when it comes to life. All right, so let me just go ahead on that end first. There are different. There's a different movie that was released recently a few years ago called The Secret. There are different down the rabbit trail. You can do a YouTube and actually look up these things. But the reason why I even mention that is because within business as well as within personal, you have to have an idea of where you're going. One of the biggest things a person can have is an idea of where they're going. It seems so simple, but it's one of the biggest things a person can really have. I know what it is that I want to do. I have clarity as to where I'm going. Without having clarity as to what you want to do and where you're going to go, how can you get there? Literally, if you do not have an aim, are you or are you not aimless? Right? So you have to have some sort of aim. I believe that life can be boiled down to a very simple, I don't know if it's the irreducible minimum, but a simple place as to we're put here on earth to love each other and to have a purpose. Right? The purpose of life is to have a purpose. You can say, well, do I have to have one? No. Just have a direction. Have something that you want to do. Even if 365 days out the year you have 365 different ideas, you have an idea on what you want to do. All right, we have that. So you have an idea on what you want to do. You've established what I call a personal philosophy. It can be an elevator pitch for yourself or a self-branded mission statement. Not something that you have to put out there for other people, but this is what I do, this is what I want to do, this is my message. Right? We were over there, we were discussing before. At the end of the day, whether someone is a mute and they say no words or they're talking all the time or talking really, really fast, when we go and leave and commence from this place, our life leaves a message. Right? If you can identify that message now, take that message and put it into the form of a question. What is your question? Right? What that does is it allows you to see your goal from a different perspective. Okay, so I've identified what it is that I want to do. I have my message. You can play around different games as far as my message in the form of a question, but you've literally wrote down your personal philosophy. This is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. Right? My life is here for a purpose and to do something. That's all involved in having an aim and having an idea of where you want to go. From there, developing clarity or developing courage. I believe it was Winston Churchill that says, courage is from going from enthusiasm or going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Right? We're going to have ups. You're going to have downs. There's a song from Empire called Conqueror. Right? You might get it or you might fall on your face. But it's not even so much as important as, you doing the thing exactly how you want it to do. Sometimes the biggest achievement is, I approached her. I said something. Right? You miss or fail, pass or whatever, you actually did the thing. You do the thing, you get the power. We become so paralyzed and many times from fear because of what we think is going to happen. Right? fear, and if you guys have saw, what is it, After Earth, or where I love that movie because of the quote that Will Smith says talking about fear. Like, fear is simply this idea that we have about the future, something that hasn't happened. But it's like the double-edged sword, because both fear and faith ask us to believe in something that has yet to happen. Right? So I believe the negative aspect of it, that fear is more painful than the thing actually happened. When we give ourselves the opportunity to fail, I believe that's when the most success actually is able to happen, right? So the net is out there or whatever. You jump, grow the wings on the way down, right? So having an idea. 2 years ago, I walked away from my job. I remember I've always had some type of hustle on the side, right? Doing some online program or creating content or something like that. And I just got to a point before I started this job, I was in a call center for Samsung down in South Carolina, and I gave myself a year before I even started. I was working on my exit strategy, right? So when I got toward that year, I'm like, let me go ahead and get everything together, put in my 2 weeks notice. I had an e-commerce shop that I ran for a while. It was very successful. And I was also looking at different things that I could do, because my shop was working so well. I didn't have to so much work for the money because it was all online. It was drop shipping, very simple method, a few hours a week. If you guys haven't read The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss, I would advise you to get that, read it, put it up on YouTube. All right, back to the story. So I was doing e-commerce shop, and I was looking for other things to do. How can I utilize my time? Not just what do I have to do for money. I wasn't waking up like, let me go to a job and do this because I work from home. So I started to realize I was working with a lot of different entrepreneurs, came across a lot of people that needed websites done or developed different websites or needed redone. So what I did is, I'm on my phone, I'm on YouTube or on Google. I called about 25, maybe 30 different web development companies, and I gave them a little pitch. Hey, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a social media consultant, I'm working with a lot of different businesses, gave them that thing. What I reached out to them for was for the opportunity to create a business alliance. I'm talking to web development companies that start at 10 grand. We start at 15, 20 grand. Then from there, I went out and found more clientele, because I literally had people like, well, can you do a website? I can do a little $300 website for you. It'll be nice and crispy. But if you're trying to get this membership, this subscription, and have all this, I'm not even going to try to do that. The time and the money wouldn't be worth it. So I reached out to them, became the middleman. I found myself in this corporate office, right? This young brown-skinned dude from Detroit, Michigan, down in South Carolina. It's predominantly white people, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going and I'm hustling, So I'm in this corporate office. And then it dawned on me when I got my tablet, I got this professional little layout where they can see I had a questionnaire, they wrote it, it was graphs and all of this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I'm politicking in here for this situation that is going to result in a comma for me, but it's fun. Right? We worked on a proposal for a $12,000 website. All I did was had the questions that I did a Google search for, put them together in a Google Forms, sent it to the dude, had him fill it out. I got that back, went to the company, boom, put it together a situation, right? Out of thin air. Because I knew what it is that I wanted to do. That's the reason for me telling you that story. Not because, it's this, but I saw an idea and I saw a need that needed to be met, so I felt it. Right? And I've done that with so many different angles. Like, not to go too far on it, but me and a buddy of mine, we've been making money for a couple of years, still have never met this dude. He's out in Georgia. We met off Craigslist. We ended up putting together a phone sex hotline, right? And it was crazy how it happened, because we met off Craigslist and we putting ads up on Craigslist to get adult female voice models, you know what I'm saying, got them in place, and then we would get the dudes who wanted to talk to the girls. I'm pretending to be a girl, like, okay, call this number, and then they get on. I'm like 5 minutes in, just drop the call and say, something happened with my service, but send it to PayPal, and boom, boom, boom. But we made money from it. It was legit, it was kind of sketchy, but it's out of thin air. You see, because I knew what I wanted to do, right? So it was creative. It's never an opportunity. One last one on that tip. The other day, I'm at home, I'm working from home, I'm doing my thing. I needed to take a break, so I went to the store. I smoked little cigars, so I'm walking to the store, got my earbuds in, I'm just chilling, got my Doughboy jacket on, a little versatile. And this dude pulled up, and he's looking at me, he's like, what's up, dude? You working, you hustling, what's good? I'm like, no, I'm just chilling, out for a walk, right? So we talking, he's in the real estate, he's like doing rehab and properties and all this stuff. And he's like, well, I've been looking for people to help with the houses, da-da-da-da. So I'm like, well, I can come out some days and probably work, make cash in that day, but I can put a team together for you. If you need people, I can go ahead and do that. Just met this dude. 3 hours later, I called him back. I'm like, buddy, I got 10 people for you on standby for tomorrow. Just let me know when and where. Put up an ad on Craigslist. Need people to help clean up. Text me with your name, phone number, boom, boom. They text, I call, okay, this is the situation, boom. I'll contact you tomorrow, Had them on standby, called him back. Bro, what's up? What did I have to do with that? People talk about it takes money to make money, all right? Listen to all these cliches because they have something to do with something, but don't just take them at heart, take them at face value, but really look into it. It doesn't take money to make money. A lack of money has never been the problem. It's a lack of ambition. It's a lack of creativity. It's a lack of get up and do something. It's a lack of want to. Ambition is an eager desire to accomplish something, right? So you take an aim. I know what I want to do. And you have courage. I'm going to step out and do something, right? Going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Oh, I got knocked down. It didn't work. I'm going to get back up. Oh, I got knocked down. It didn't work. I'm going to get back up. Throughout that whole trial, you're leaving breadcrumbs of your success. Not only that, you're learning successful ways on how not to do it, which helps with your wisdom. Making great decisions is a skill that comes from making a bunch of bad decisions, right? But if we're scared to make the decision in the first place, how can we get to that point? Most people, Thoreau says this, that most people live lives of quiet desperation. It's because they don't really allow themselves to be insignificant in an area before they can become significant, right? If you're doing something for the first time, like anybody had to do in anything they become great at, then you have to do it for the first time. You got to first not know how to do it and have a desire to do it to want to know how to do it and get better, right? So you have an aim. This is what I want to do. You're going. You have an eager desire to accomplish something. You get knocked down, but you're getting right back up, right? If you refuse to stop, by definition, you are unstoppable. There's nothing that can stop you if you refuse to stop. I am my biggest critic. I am my biggest roadblock. But if I take myself out for a second, right? So like judgment is weakness, but observation is power. So if I see my situation and see what's going on and I have clarity, I can for a second rise up out of my situation. It's almost like, and this kind of goes back to the beginning with the universe and the laws of attraction. All of these things are practical, but we develop and accumulate this spiritual equity that comes with these things, right? So realizing that I know where I am, I know where I want to go, I know that I'm going to mess up a little bit and give myself the opportunity to fail. I refuse to stop. So I know I'm unstoppable, right? And I'm developing these things and I'm going in this particular direction. Literally, you won't have to ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do next? You'll start looking back and saying, wow, look at what I've done already, right? You find that thing, that groove that you want to do. Whether it be something that someone else has already done. I couldn't look. When I was first getting into internet marketing, there was no one around me that I could look at and say, oh, I want to do it like him and be like him. Like, oh, Michael Jordan, I want to. There was no, so I kind of felt weird, right? Because it's this thing that's working that I'm like really, really wanting to do, but nobody around me is doing it and I can't talk to nobody else about it. So I got to kind of be up in myself, but it's not taboo or, yeah. So I had to still develop it within myself and work out this vision. As you work out the vision, the clarity, the aim, it's like you're literally constructing spiritual property. It's like this, like the same thing as woodwork and material at Lowe's, right? You have all the woodwork, the hammers, the nails, and all this, and you want to construct this blueprint. Thoughts, words, these things are the material. But as we scope it out with our mind, we're literally constructing it, right? And you can look at it as this ooey type of thing, but if you see it in a practical way, you see that I'm clarifying my aim, and I can't plan to do something that I'm not going to do. It doesn't happen. If you're planning to do it, you're actually starting in it already. One of the clearest descriptions, and I'm going to get out here with this. One of the clearest descriptions of success that I've heard thus far was from one of my mentors. He passed away like in the 50s or whatever, Earl Nightingale, who says that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, which simply means that when I have an idea of what I want to do, the moment I begin to move towards that, I am successful. Whether it's a Google search or it's making a phone call, because I'm moving in a deliberate direction on purpose. That's that power. Most people don't have clarity and don't have aim, and they're just right? It comes to a point where it's as simple as, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do it. That's all I need to know. So, I was going to go in another direction, but thank you for allowing me to share. If you guys want to get in contact with me, my blog just blew up, but KeenanDijon.com, you can still go to it. I'm going to forward it to another one. Also, if you write this down, my audiobook, I said I was going to give it to you guys for free. If you go to www.halfamillrealquick, HALFAMILLREALQUICK, halfamillrealquick.com. No, excuse me. halfamillrealquick.weebly.
How do you spell that?
WEEBLY.com.
Are you sure?
Yes. /blog. BLOG. So it's just halfamillrealquick.weebly.com /blog.
Thanks.
If you get lost, you can just go to halfamillrealquick.com, but that's the opt-in page. Take you to the same place, but you put your email in. I told you I'd give it to you for free, no opt-in required. halfamillrealquick.com. You can listen to the audiobook, 10 Pillars of Personal Power. Something that I'm going to publish that on Amazon probably this month, but I wanted to put it out there for free, just let some people get it, hear it, take advantage of it. Again, thank you so much. Namaste. My name is Keenan Dijon.